Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the post-game fan reaction of the Oilers' 3-2 win over the Chicago Blackhawks. I was not planning on doing a fan reaction tonight because of the result of the Toronto Blue Jays game, but I figured because so many of you either aren't Jays fans but also tune into the channel regularly, because of how much you all support me all the time, obviously my immeasurable heartbreaking disappointment over the Jays, I have to put that aside, and I just want to make sure that I'm still providing the content to the best fans on the planet. The Jays, it was a good run, but obviously, as a hockey channel, I may just leave this. I might just leave this in. Screw it. I'm going to leave it in. It's a fan reaction after all. There are positives to take out of this night. Obviously been talking about Bouchard, how horrible Bouchard's been lately. Bouchard had a great game, had the game winner. Connor McDavid, 3 assists. That's awesome. Draisaitl stepped up. He had a good game. Roslovic. Yeah, okay. I'm good. I'm going to fucking lock in here. I'm going to lock in. The Oilers win 3-2 over the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, Blackhawks fans obviously might be disappointed. They had some pretty good looks. They were really pushing in that third period. They tied the game up. But the Oilers were able to find a way in overtime. And that's something that the Oilers haven't been able to do this season, is find a way to win in overtime. They have 3 losses in overtime, but Evan Bouchard got the game winner, assisted by Draisaitl and McDavid. I'm happy that the Oilers' top players were able to step up and get the job done tonight. The Oilers improved to 6-4-3 now on the season. Hold on, let me take a look at the standings. Sorry, I'm kind of discombobulated here. Yeah, so they are 6-4-3 on the season now. We're going to go back to the box score here. We're going to go over the Edge visualizer. For the Oilers against the Blackhawks, Bouchard with the OT winner, of course. Draisaitl got things going. Now, at the end of the first period, Draisaitl did score a goal, but it was when there was still, or I guess when the clock had expired, so the goal did not count. But at the beginning of the second period, that power play at the end of the at the end of the first period, it carried over into the second. Draisaitl was able to convert. That made it 1-0 Edmonton. A nice goal from Leon. Nice job by Nugent Hopkins. Passed the puck across. Draisaitl with his patented one-timer. Love to see that. Bertuzzi, he tied the game up on the power play for Chicago later in the period. And then in the late in the second, you had Roslovic. He made it a 1-goal game for the Oilers. He made it 2-1 for Edmonton. Bouchard, he worked it around, found McDavid, and McDavid with the shot pass to Roslovic, who has been fantastic for Edmonton over the past few weeks here. The great goal for Roslovic. He was in place of David Tomashek tonight on the power play on that top unit. So it was nice to see Roslovic get a goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Burakovsky tied it early in the third period, and then it was really a lot of good chances for the Chicago Blackhawks throughout the third. But then Bouchard in overtime. McDavid, he does a little button hook play, waits for reinforcements. Bouchard steps onto the ice. Draisaitl finds Bouchard. The one-timer's initially stopped by Spencer Knight, but Evan Bouchard with a fantastic read to just stay with it, and the Chicago Blackhawks were very frustrated. Very happy for Stuart Skinner as well. This was a big bounce back game for Stuart Skinner. Very happy for him. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about his game lately. McDavid, 3 points. Draisaitl had 2. Roslovic 1. Nugent-Hopkins 1. And then on defense, Evan Bouchard was a +1 tonight. He had 1 goal, 1 assist. A massive bounce back for him. Another player that has really been under the microscope for the Edmonton Oilers. But the only other player that might be under a bigger microscope is Stuart Skinner. He had a great game today at a .931 save percentage, only gave up 2 goals on 29 shots, and one of those goals was on the power play. So it's really tough to blame Stu in that in that situation. Now, when we go to Money Puck here, we're going to take a look at the expected goals for percentage, what the Money Puck looked like. Looks like Money Puck had the Oilers and Blackhawks basically at a standstill, a 50-50. This game could have went either way, and that's kind of how I saw it too. Even though I was mostly watching the Jays, I obviously tuned into the Oilers and I managed to catch up, and I had to catch up enough to see what happened. The expected goals in all situations, 3.67 to 3.59 in favor of the Oilers, which means Stuart Skinner had a 1.67 goals saved above expected. That is fantastic. Curtis Lazar drew into the lineup for Edmonton tonight, had a good game. Ekholm, good game. Draisaitl, Roslovic, Bouchard, McDavid. They all had huge bounce back games for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, Noah Philp was in the lineup for Edmonton, but he didn't have the best game, and at least not what we're accustomed to from Noah Philp. If you take a look at the Blackhawks, Alex Vlasic led the team in time on ice with 23-14. And if you take a look at Spencer Knight, 0.59 goals saved above expected. If you take a look at Stuart Skinner, 1.67 goals saved above expected. That is a great game from Stuart Skinner. Bouchard, 24-21 time on ice. McDavid, 25-04, led all players in time on ice tonight with the 3 assists. That is again, it's not sustainable, but at least the Oilers got the job done. If you take a look at other players with single-digit ice time, Lazar, Philp, and Howard, again, it's tough to kind of point the finger at anyone on Edmonton for playing a bad game, especially since Chris Knobloch only seems to trust about 5 or 6 of his players. Wallman had another 23-22 of time on ice. Nurse played 22-22. Draisaitl, 22-22. I thought Nurse had another effective game, by the way. I thought Darnell Nurse played good. It was a good win for Edmonton. It was a good step back into form for Stuart Skinner and the team as a whole. I would like to see what the 3 stars were. I haven't had a chance to check that out yet, so let me just quickly go back into the game center for the Oilers and Blackhawks here. Bouchard was the first star, Roslovic was the second star, and Burakovsky was the third star. The Oilers win 3-2 in overtime. That puts them at 6-4-3 on the season. The October Oilers are over. Hopefully they are able to step up and have some good play here in November. Obviously, I am incredibly disappointed and heartbroken at the Toronto Blue Jays loss tonight. I want to say I apologize for being emotional, but I'm not going to apologize for that. It's a team I've been watching for 22 years, and boy, one day, right? It'll feel good. It'll feel good if the Jays ever win a championship, if the Oilers ever win a championship. It's going to feel amazing. Obviously, tonight was not that night. So hopefully for the Oilers, they keep playing well. I may have a day after discussion up tomorrow. I cannot confirm that yet. And we'll see you soon. All right, Oil Country, thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate all of your support as always. Tell someone you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers.